welcome, welcome, welcome to The Tonight Show. This is exciting. As of today, all Americans 16 and older are now eligible for the COVID vaccine. And yet, the biggest thing trending online today was this.
McDonald's partnering with popular Korean pop band BTS. The celebrity meal goes on sale next month. The meal features 10-piece chicken nuggets, medium fries, and a Coke. The fast food chain also debuting 2 new dipping sauces.
Just so there's no confusion, you get your BTS order at McDonald's and you get your IBS order at White Castle. Oh! This is odd, but my nickname at my local McDonald's is BTS because whenever I order, they think it's for 7 people. Give me a number 3, and you guys still making pancakes? I'm gonna throw a couple of those in there.
Yeah. What did he want? What did he want?
What do you want to do in different voices?
I
would like to get a Big Mac. It's like, oh.
Oh, he wants a Big Mac too.
That's my Russian buddy. Of course, adding the BTS name to McDonald's will drum up a lot of business, but if BTS really wants to impress me, they'll put their name on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. That's what I'm talking about. Well, guys, now that the vaccine is open to all Americans 16 and older, the Biden administration is trying to get the word out. Watch this.
The White House is launching a media blitz today to promote the vaccine.
You're going to be seeing Dr. Fauci on unlikely forums such as Snapchat. And the administration is also going to be using Facebook and Twitter to send push notifications to Americans to let them know that it's their turn to get vaccinated.
So let me get this straight. Your idea to get kids vaccinated is putting an 80-year-old scientist on TikTok? Good luck. And you know Biden's old when he's like, oh, we need someone young and hip for the Snapchat videos. How about that kid, Dr. Fauci? Meanwhile, I read that a lot of singles have been meeting while waiting in line to get their vaccines. It's really sweet until that moment when the masks come off. It's like, we're good. You know someone didn't like you when they skipped their second dose just to avoid seeing you again. Today, one guy in Rite Aid was like, care to continue this over by the blood pressure machine? All I know is we're probably days away from the new Hallmark movie, Moderna Love. Well, this is exciting. Early this morning, NASA made history on Mars. Check it out.
NASA is celebrating yet another historic accomplishment on the Red Planet, successfully flying a mini helicopter on Mars. It's the first ever powered flight on another planet.
That's right. A little helicopter detached from a rover, and now they're both exploring Mars. Or as Pixar put it, sold. The flight lasted a total of 30 seconds. The men on the team said it was a complete success, while the women agreed so they wouldn't hurt anyone's feelings. I saw that Tinder users can get free lessons on the language app Duolingo so they can meet other international singles. It's amazing. The program teaches you how to say you up in 40 different languages. Well, guys, big sports news from overseas. Some of the world's best soccer clubs made a pretty controversial decision. Listen to this.
12 of Europe's top clubs have announced plans to form a super league. Some of the wealthiest and most successful teams from England, Spain, and Italy say they plan to form an exclusive new league where they will compete only amongst themselves.
Right now, America's thinking whatever, while Europe's like, forget the virus. This is the biggest threat facing the world. Yeah, this is a big deal for Europeans and your annoying friend who wears a soccer jersey to Saturday brunch. But this is strange. To help promote the new soccer league, they're sending Dr. Fauci on a Snapchat.
Really?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Some political news. A new poll shows Matthew McConaughey is leading Governor Greg Abbott by 12 points in a hypothetical matchup for governor of Texas. I like it. When asked if he's actually going to run for office, McConaughey said, I might. That's right. McConaughey is leading the polls between that and 420. This is the best week of his life, maybe. This all makes sense because people in Texas will always support the party of Lincoln. Correct?
Nice.
Thank you, Higgins. You're a historian.
Yep.
So you appreciate that.
I appreciate
humor.
I appreciate that. Also, he did the Lincoln Lawyer, too, so you got 2 Lincolns.
That's right. I heard he's reprising his role.
Is he really? Mm-hmm. Yeah. As what?
The same lawyer.
Nicer car.
Yeah. Some entertainment news. It was just announced that a second Downton Abbey movie is hitting theaters later this year. They actually come up with a great name for the Downton Abbey sequel, Prude Bridgerton. Well, this is creepy. Retailers are selling a realistic muscular bodysuit for people who want to look fit this summer without having to hit the gym. Look at that thing. Is that bizarre? Imagine you're about to take things further and your guy's like, hold on, I just got to take off my rubber skin suit first. The suit costs more than $100 and they're harder to get out of than a Planet Fitness membership. And finally, over the weekend, TSA agents in Houston found crystal meth in a traveler's burrito. I hate when that happens. You get a burrito with beans, cheese, and crystal meth when you actually ordered a burrito with beans, cheese, and crack. It seems like Johnson & Johnson just can't catch a break. Listen to this. Back in March, there was a contamination issue at one of their vaccine plants, and the FDA is halting production while it investigates. Wait, they're halting production now? You know your company is in trouble when millions of doses are contaminated and it's not nearly the worst part of your week. Don't worry, instead of fixing the contamination problem, they're just going to rebrand their vaccine as Johnson & Johnson Extreme. Right now, the company is in so much trouble, Johnson is currently not talking to Johnson. It's that bad. Well, guys, some big tech news today was Apple's Spring Loaded event, the company's first major product announcement of the year. It was a great event. Nothing is more fun than seeing all the new Apple products that will be at the bottom of a random drawer in a year. Yeah, the big announcements were a new purple iPhone and a new iPad Pro that can store up to 60,000 photos. Ooh. If you need more space than that, either you're a photographer or your kid got a hold of your iPad for 10 minutes. Yep, they unveiled the purple iPhone, or as people celebrating 420 put it, purple? That's right, today is 420. Sir, you clapped a little too fast and too loud. I read that 40% of people who smoke think 420 should be a national holiday, while the rest skipped work today because they thought it was a national holiday. Right now, there's so much smoke in New York City, every apartment looks like it elected a new pope. Even Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer acknowledged the day's significance from the Senate floor. Watch this.
Today is what you might call a very unofficial American holiday, 420.
This clip feels exactly like the moment everyone's parents joined Facebook. Do you know what I'm talking about? I bet senators take a hit every now and then. I mean, how else do you explain the clip of that senator removing glasses that weren't there?
I'd like to begin with R1 religious worker visas.
And then he put it back on again after he made his point.
Oh, they're brilliant.
Can we just see it again, Alex?
I'd like to begin with R1 religious.
We did it already. Some entertainment news. I saw that Vin Diesel is going to star in a live-action movie based on the old toy Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Say what you want, but it's nice to finally see a human taking over a robot's job. And finally, a diner in New Jersey had a pretty interesting problem. Watch this.
A Canadian goose is wreaking havoc in New Jersey. The bird has been attacking customers entering this diner while it's protecting its family. At one point, the male goose knocked down a man and pecked his face, leaving him with bruises.
First of all, couldn't the cameraman warn the people before they almost had their eyes pecked out? Yeah, a crazed goose attacking people outside a diner. The goose was like, attacking? I'm trying to keep these idiots from eating indoors. Tomorrow, President Biden and 40 other world leaders are kicking off a big virtual climate summit. Yep, they're meeting virtually because of the pandemic. Otherwise, they would have flown 40 different private jets to a meeting about the climate. Yep, the guest list includes Vladimir Putin, Bill Gates, Pope Francis, and one very stressed out IT guy. Your Holiness, could you try closing the browser and signing back in? It's too bad the summit isn't in person. If people were sitting alphabetically, I'd love to hear the small talk between the Pope and Putin. It's like, do you watch Shies of the Creek? Dan Levy is the best. I mean, did you see episode where Moira is... oh, they're talking to us. That's right, Vladimir Putin agreed to attend. It'll be weird when someone says, very funny torture rack background, Vlad, and he's like, right, joke, of course, yes. All I know is that it'll be awkward when they start the Zoom and Putin and Biden are the first ones on. Stop video, stop. Hi, Joe, how's it going, man? During the summit, Biden is expected to announce that the U.S. will cut greenhouse gas emissions at least in half by 2030. That's good. Yeah. Yep, Biden plans to cut emissions by 2030, at which point it will be President Dwayne Johnson's problem. Hey, this is big. Remember that European Soccer Super League that was just announced 2 days ago? Well, listen to this.
The proposed European Super League may be over before any teams could even take the field. The league announced it was suspending current plans after the founding clubs backed out of the venture, just 2 days after the initial announcement.
Wow. Only 2 days. I've seen guacamole last longer than that. Seriously, the league crumbled faster than a Nature Valley bar.
Oh, hey!
Yep, the Super League has been knocked out, and unlike most soccer injuries, this one's real. Now those 12 teams are showing up at their old leagues trying to act like nothing happened. It's like, hey, what's up? Was anyone here watch Shides Creek? Dan Levy's fantastic. He's brilliant. Yeah. You see the episode where Moira... oh, sorry. Some business news. Netflix stock took a big dive this week after they reported a dramatic slowdown in subscriber growth. Ooh. It's a tough time for Netflix. Right now, executives are fighting like two people looking for something to watch on Netflix. Things are so bad, the CEO of Netflix is like, we either need a new Bridgerton or a new pandemic. But Netflix isn't letting the news discourage them. They also announced that they're spending more than $17 billion on content this year. Yeah, they're spending $17 billion for shows that we're just going to listen to while we're on Instagram. Some more business news. I saw that Lululemon is testing a resale program where shoppers sell and buy gently used items. Lululemon yoga pants. Let me put this in perspective. Wearing a pair of lightly used Lululemon pants is basically like picking up a pack of lightly used Charmin. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know how you'd sell used Lululemons. Anybody who wears them has to cut them off with scissors. Maybe this will work. I mean, how many times have you seen someone walking out of a hot yoga class and thought, I want those shorts? That exact pair. Well, guys, you're not going to believe this, but the pandemic has had an effect on the sales of Girl Scout cookies. Listen to this.
A lack of in-person sales this year has left tons of Thin Mints, Samoas, and other flavors unsold.
Troop leaders in Atlanta say they have 700,000 boxes just sitting in a warehouse.
Wow. I can't wait for my neighbor's kid to be like, hi, Mr. Fallon, so I can put you down for 15,000 dosey-dos? All I have to say is, you know, America's broken when there's a surplus of delicious cookies and life-saving vaccines. What are we doing? And get this, in June, New York City is getting a 3-story, 21,000 square foot Harry Potter store. Ooh. It's exciting. I'd say there's nothing hotter right now than Harry Potter merchandise and indoor shopping. Would you agree? It'll be the first time a New Yorker can whip out their wand on the subway without getting pepper sprayed.
Wow. Hey, put away your Harry Potter.
I'm glad it's in New York City. I mean, what's better than hearing, welcome to the wizarding world, the Harry Potter. Yep, the store is based on the previously unreleased book, Harry Potter and the Bunch of Stuff You Don't Need. Honey, let's stop in here. Do we need a wand? All right, you answered pretty quick there. Well, there have been a lot of incredible strides made in science over the past year, but here's an invention you probably weren't expecting. Watch this.
Engineers at Purdue University have created the whitest paint ever. They say the paint is so white that coating a building with it could cool them off enough to reduce the need for air conditioning.
Yeah. Yeah, the scientists work at the Distinguished University of Benjamin Moore. Can we see that paint color again? Yeah, looks like a photo from the Pillsbury Doughboys colonoscopy. Today is Earth Day. Happy Earth Day. Everyone's in the spirit. This morning at 7-Eleven, I saw a rat drinking a big gulp with a metal straw. A lot of stores celebrated Earth Day. H&M added a section for sustainable items. Lowe's offered a free garden-to-go kit, and Subway recycled last week's tuna. Oh. So, yeah, I thought that was... I'm kidding around, but protecting the Earth is serious. I mean, can you believe that in 1999, we had nearly 50 rainforest cafes, and now we're down to almost 20? Think about it. That's right, today was all about the planet, and at the White House, President Biden hosted 40 world leaders for a virtual climate change summit. The tone of the summit was that we're all responsible. But you know, Costa Rica was looking at the U.S. and China like, yeah, this is all our fault, right? Yeah, we're all to blame, yeah. Yeah. Now, of course, with any virtual event, you're going to have some technical glitches, right? But I didn't think it'd be quite this bad. Take a look at what happened.
Good morning to all our colleagues around the world, the world leaders for taking part in this summit. I thank you.
It's now my honor to call on His Excellency, the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres. I now call upon the Prime Minister of the Republic of India, His Excellency Narendra Modi.
President Biden, colleagues, my fellow citizens.
The floor is now to the President of the Russian Federation, Mr. Vladimir Putin. Mr. President.
Somehow we just flew a helicopter on Mars, but we still can't get a Zoom meeting to work. Next time, every leader will be required to have at least one grandchild present. It's funny that we were watching Putin and he didn't know he was on camera, because usually it's the other way around. Yeah. Even...
That was a good.
Reach? At one point, Britain's Prime Minister Boris Johnson spoke, and he used a pretty interesting phrase to get his point across. Listen to this.
This is not all about some expensive, politically correct green act of bunny hugging, or however you want to put it. I'm not wrong with bunny hugging, but you know what I'm driving at.
No. We have no idea what you're driving at. At first, people were like, oh, is bunny hugging a British version of tree hugging? British people were like, no, he's just weird. I've never heard that term. That's right, leaders from all over the world met to discuss climate change over Zoom, and some even released joint statements with President Biden. And check these out. After French President Emmanuel Macron said, if we want to decrease our carbon footprint, we must, Biden jumped in and said, take a page out of my old friend's book. His name was Shoeless Gus. He used to walk across a gravel parking lot just to prove a point. He ran off with a flapper girl from Cheyenne. Now they sell tire swings for a living. I don't really see how that's relevant, but let's check out another joint statement. After German Chancellor Angela Merkel said, we can conserve the amount of available water we have by, Biden said, rounding up all the neighborhood boys and washing ourselves off in the creek behind old man McCafferty's tool shed. Just as good as a real shower, and you get to eat as many tadpole eggs as you can fit in your mouth. Like, why do they keep letting him talk?
Really?
Yeah. Let's check out one more.
All right, let's see it.
After British Prime Minister Boris Johnson said, fighting climate change will create millions of jobs, such as, Biden said, root beer barbers and professional whistlers. I used to know a pair of twins who could whistle like a teapot. Their parents named them both Ralph to make things easy. One of them got struck by lightning, and after that, anytime he walked past a jukebox, it just started playing. Ralph and Ralph? I don't know.
It sound like joint statements.
I don't know, man. More news from Washington. After the White House presented its $2.3 trillion infrastructure plan, Republicans have responded with their own version that's only worth $568 billion. Yeah, Republicans want all of these repairs done on the cheap, which is why they're calling the bill Operation Flex Seal. Biden has so much on his plate: infrastructure construction, police reform, military spending. Right now, his to-do list looks like the Village People. This is pretty incredible. I saw that Amazon is testing out a new way to pay at Whole Foods. Take a look at this.
Paying for groceries with the swipe of your hand. That could be coming soon to Whole Foods stores near you. It allows shoppers to pay for items by placing their palm over the scanning device.
Here's how it works. You hover your hand over the reader, then the cashier tells you to stay still, then move it slightly, then move it slightly again, and then you get frustrated and pay with your credit card. Whatever, I think it's fun. I always wanted to buy plums like I'm a Jedi. It's pretty good, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good Jedi.
Like it's the move back. That's
The move
the
back
act.
is what sells it.
This
Yeah.
isn't. Yeah,
that's,
it's
that's just a guy.
Yeah.
That's a Jedi.
Thank you.
Especially the flourish.
Are they making another Star Wars film?
I bet they. Oh, you could.
I add a little mustard on that last one. You want me to do it one more time?
Do one more
Mr.
time.
Lucas? Okay. Step to the left. Yeah. More?
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 How far?
Okay, perfect.
Do
So
I
this
have
is
a
good?
car?
Okay. Thank you. An Academy Award? Oh, it's not my name's on it. Oh, this isn't good. McCormick said that they've had a difficult time keeping up with demand for Old Bay seasoning during the pandemic. Can't really imagine why, which brings us to a new segment we like to call Tariq's Teachable Moment.
Tariq's Teachable Moment.
Thanks, Jimmy. I think I can shine a light on this. You see, when black people cook, we enjoy this thing that you might have heard of. It's called flavor. Flavor is what happens to a meal when you add more to it than just salt or pepper.
I don't know. That sounds spicy.
It can be. In black homes, spice racks are like guard dogs, robust, loud, integral parts of the family unit. Meanwhile, your spice rack is more like a lap dog, small, decorative, but ultimately useless. So when the pandemic hit and restaurants closed, black people treated Old Bay like it was toilet paper and bought enough to fill a bunker.
Okay, well, how much seasoning should I use?
A great start would be more than 0. Just do what I do. Ignore the recipe and sprinkle it on a little longer than you usually would. Like this.
Okay, this seems like a lot.
It is. That's the point, Jimmy. And look, if you don't understand yet, that's okay. Just give it a minute to marinate.
Tariq's Teachable Moment.
Tariq Trotter, everybody. Tariq Trotter. I learned a lot. Thank you, Tariq. And finally, a woman in North Carolina was shopping at Target when she found a surprise on the shelf. Watch this.
This is not something you typically find on the shelves in Target. A black rat snake slithering through the cans of Bush's baked beans.
Manager came on the PA system and was like, oh, hell no, in aisle 5? Oh, hell no. We've all gotten used to wearing masks wherever we go, but I just read that the CDC is looking into whether it's still necessary to wear them outdoors. That's all this country needs right now. Trevor, the bartender from Senor Frogs, to have been right all along. He's like, I told you, bro. I guess this is good, although I was kind of looking forward to another summer with bikini lines on my face, you know? Honestly, it would be nice to get back to when a masked man outside your house was just a serial killer, you know? Well, guys, it's a big weekend for Hollywood. The 93rd annual Oscars are this Sunday. Yeah. Of course, in quarantine, even the Oscar statue gained weight. Yeah, it's going to be a very unique year for the Oscars. There's no host, no after party, and no movies anyone saw. Yep, this year's Oscars are about celebrating all the movies we scrolled through and thought, $20? Nope. But this is interesting. The Academy announced that masks are not required while cameras are rolling, but should be worn during commercial breaks. That makes sense. If we've learned anything about the virus, it only spreads during commercials. And speaking of movies today, Mortal Kombat was released in theaters and on HBO Max. I haven't seen the new Mortal Kombat yet, but I think I speak for everyone when I say I just hope it lives up to the play. Hey, check this out. Netflix is reportedly nearing a deal on an upcoming biopic about the band Kiss called Shout It Out Loud. Yeah, it's pretty exciting news.
Yeah, Jimmy, so exciting.
Higgins, I didn't realize you were such a big Kiss fan.
What? No, I just love biopics.
I see. Did you know in advance that I'd be talking about a Kiss biopic today?
No, just took a chance. I wear Kiss makeup to work about half the time.
All right. Well, you can't wear that during the show.
Ugh. Fine. You never support me anyway.
Oh, come on. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Oh, you know what? It's me. I'm sorry. I had to take off.
Get this, starting on May 1st, topless clubs in Las Vegas are officially allowed to reopen. Phew. Just in time for Mother's Day, you know? If you're excited about topless clubs reopening, I'm assuming it was a long quarantine. Listen to this. Nathan's is offering 5-cent hot dogs at Coney Island this summer for the first time in 100 years. Customers were like, I'd actually feel better if you charged more. 5-cent hot dogs. I'd rather get 5-cent LASIK eye surgery. Eating a 5-cent hot dog is as safe as taking home a mattress on the street that says free. Seems like a good deal. Let's take it back to the house. Oh, I saw Martha Stewart just announced the release of her 99th cookbook. 99. At this point, the recipes are just, I don't know, bologna on an Oreo. Leave me alone. Wow. It says leave me alone in the book.
Wow, very rude for a cookbook.
She would never. Did you guys hear about this? An explosion at a gender reveal party. Oh my gosh. In New Hampshire was so powerful that it damaged nearby homes and was felt in other states.
What? Like, what's up with these gender reveal parties? Like,
What's going on, dude? After the explosion, everyone was like, it's a lawsuit. What is going on with these things?
it's crazy.
Yeah, they're supposed to reveal the gender of the baby, not the IQ of the parents. Well, this made me laugh. A man in Taiwan is making news for finding an interesting way to get some extra time off from work. Listen to this story.
A man in Taiwan found a creative way to get an extended vacation from work. He initially got married last April. He was given 8 days off. At the end of his leave, he divorced his wife and planned to remarry her the next day. And he did this whole process not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Wow. Yeah, his boss knew something was up when he got a letter that said, save the date April 6th, 17th, and 29th. And finally, a woman here in New York City came home to her apartment and found an unexpected visitor. Watch this. Wow. I didn't even know New York City pigeons laid eggs. I thought they were just rats that earned their wings. Don't worry, though, the pigeon's gone, and this is no relation at all. I just want to remind everyone about Nathan's 5-cent hot dogs this summer on Coney Island. Happy